So it is Sunday morning and it's still pretty quiet around this house. It is, what time is it? It's not quite 8 o'clock yet. So I really wanted to do this show for you guys. It's a little different. It is still very much related to post abortion and those traumas, childhood trauma, abusive relationships, but just a bit of a way to look at it differently, hopefully feel differently about it when we're done. Something for you to consider, to play with in your life and be curious about it. So here we go. We talk a lot about what we see in our mind's eye, where we want to be, what we want from this life, where we want to go, and ultimately, how do we get there? I've asked myself the same questions. And what if we could look at it not from the mind's eye, because as I've mentioned before, the mind can tell us stories, but to look at what you want, where you want to be, how you want to be from your heart's eye, not your mind's eye. And this idea came to me, I guess it's probably been about a week or so ago, and I've been playing with it a lot. It's more of what do I want? What do you want? And how is it sitting in your heart, in your body, not in your mind? And I will stress this again. Our mind tells us stories. It keeps us in this safe place, if you will, in air quotes, because of our history of what the mind knows, of what it's already experienced, and what it's that safety factors. Okay, if we go outside this box, if we cross this line, that might not be a good thing for us. And that's kind of out of our comfort zone, right? But if you could look at what you want, where you want to be, how you want to be from your heart, it's more expansive. I think it's more revealing, shall we say, because your heart is so big and your heart knows you. Now, that might seem kind of silly to say, but is it really? Because many times when we are in a place of trauma, of those trauma feelings from the past or what you're being triggered for right now. It could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be a job, it could be a book you're reading or a movie that you're streaming, something that you're listening to or seeing. And how that affects and triggers you, and your mind starts telling you these stories. Oh, we can't do this. See, there's the validation of why we can't do this. But if you can drop into your heart and just play with it, see how it works for you, and really be aware of what your heart is saying. How does it feel in your heart? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel good? Does it feel curious to want to find out more, to experience more, to play with it more? And if we could do that in the most loving way to ourselves, the transformation within us, I feel, would just be tremendous. Where do you start doing that, you may ask? Because I asked myself the same thing a couple of weeks ago. It's like, okay, how do you do this? And I think you play with it. You have this experience and, your mind kicks in like automatically right there. Drop from the mind to the body, to the heart. I mean, really almost or physically put your hand over your heart and ask yourself in a moment of quiet, take a pause. How does this feel in my heart? Does this feel good for me? And just test it out. It could be starting with something small, like maybe taking a walk that maybe you don't normally take walks outside. How does this feel? And your heart's like, and your body's like, yes, let's go. Let's do this. Or it's like, yeah, maybe not today. Maybe we just need to take a rest day. Honor that. Don't push through it. Don't push and seek to the point where, well, you're pushing and pushing and pushing. It's not going to give you, I think, what you're looking for. It doesn't for me, because you start to feel that pressure. It's like, I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. That's your mind kicking in one more time. But if you can drop into your heart, take a moment, take a pause. Is this something I want to try? Is this something I want to do? It could be something as simple as trying a new food. And sometimes that is not so simple. because if you have digestive problems, your body's likely very sensitive to a lot of different foods. But what I have noticed when I have dropped into my body, not my mind, but my body and my heart, when I want to try something new, it looks interesting, it looks intriguing, a new recipe or maybe a new fruit or vegetable that I wouldn't have had. I can feel in my heart it's like nope, and other things, it's like, oh, yeah. So, for an example, when I was playing around with this, I have digestive problems. The doctors were telling me, eat what were they telling me? Eat kiwi. Now, every time I look at kiwi, it's like, nope, I cannot do this. I cannot make myself eat this. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and I bought one. I gave it a go because, that's what the doctor recommended. I'm telling you this for a reason. I set it out, I let it get to room temperature, and, I gave it a try. And honestly, I really didn't like it. Now, I did go into that experience being curious and wondering, okay, maybe what my body was telling me wasn't quite right. But my body was telling me this is not for you. And it wasn't coming from my mind. It was actually just coming from everything below the shoulders. And it's like, no, I couldn't even finish it. And so that's kind of a very simple example of mind versus body. When we can listen to our body, listen to our heart, things change. They truly change. And when it comes to traumas, when it comes to the trauma from the abortion, the trauma of our childhoods, of traumas from being in abusive relationships, and those can change how we see things, how we feel about things. Absolutely, it does. But what if you could take one small piece of that and open your heart to it? And that small piece may come to a point of forgiveness, not what our mind is telling us that we can't forgive. They did this terrible thing to us or they treated us very badly and said terrible things. So we can't forgive. We can't let that go. We just can't. It's going to stay with us and we're going to push that person away or anyone like that. And I'm just going to stay in this space, this small space where I'm safe. And I understand that. I absolutely understand that. I have been there for so many years. And when I started, and I've told this story many times, and when I started down a business of health and weight loss for women, which I love. And I've told you that before. I have so much fun doing that and helping women with that because I had such weight issues. It was mind boggling to me. The harder I tried, the worse it got. But when I started to heal and I started the healing with the abortion and from the abortion, I let that sit. I let that integrate. I let that forgiveness come, not only for me. And that was a big piece of it, of forgiving because when you tell your story to other people, they are going to have feelings about it. I understand. But many people have a very big heart and they will love you anyway. And they will love you more and stand beside you, walk beside you, put their hand on your back and be there for you. But if we hold it all inside and we don't talk about it and it keeps swirling in our heads or we keep pushing it down in this box. And then we also are living in this box that says, okay, these people hurt me. I can't do this anymore. So it's just me, and me in this box. And I'm safe and I'm not going to let anybody in. We close our hearts. We close our bodies. And it can truly also have an effect of making us very sick because we continue to hold those painful memories. We will always have the memory. But the pain and the triggering and the feelings that we have, and they're all very real. When we can start to heal that and move those energies and heal those energies and move them out of our body, the memories are still there, but they're different. They're not shameful. They don't lead to your self-judgment. And we can self-judge. I mean, we're experts at it, aren't we? We can just self-judge all over the place. And as we're doing that, we're also pushing that self-judgment energy out to others, and we're judging others. When we can start to heal, and wherever that might be for you, heart starts to open more and more. And when we can drop from our mind's eye of all the things that we have been through, that you have been through, and drop into the heart and start to heal. And it could be, like I said, forgiveness is the biggest piece. And most of the time, I would say it's forgiveness of yourself, because you may have, not that you did, you may have been telling yourself the story of, why did I get with this person? Why did I have a relationship with them? They were so cruel. They were so mean. They were emotionally abusive. They were physically abusive. Why did I do this abortion? I wish I had never, ever done this. And I feel so badly. I have carry so much grief around this. And childhood trauma of, why did they do this? Why did they leave me? Why did someone have to leave my life, leave this earth and leave me? I felt abandoned. I felt unworthy. And we carry this stuff inside us for so long, it settles in our bodies. It absolutely settles in our bodies, and it can make us very, very sick. It can, I always bring up digestive problems, because that's where mine set is. My entire digestive system, which has led to a lot of doctors and experimenting with different things of what works, what doesn't work, and trying to heal that. And that's a constant journey for me right now, because I let that sit in my body and not heal, because I didn't understand that that was what was going on. All I knew is that I had all these things happen, right? All of these things. And I wasn't dealing with, and I wasn't allowing myself to have the feelings. I kept pushing them back and pushing them back and pushing them back and saying, it's all good. It's all good. We're good. And just kept on marching and muscling through all the things. We can't muscle through everything. We cannot muscle through our energetic healing, the traumas. We can't. When we try to do that, we just scratch the surface. It's like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I want to get through this. I want to be done with this. I am so tired of this. Been there. When we can step back, the layer that's coming up for you now. What's coming up for you right now? What is your heart telling you, not me, you, that this experience and these feelings that I have around this experience, you have around this experience, is coming up? That's where you want to start. It comes in layers. It truly, truly does. And we learn how to set boundaries with people. It's like, this is not acceptable. You talking to me like this is not acceptable. You treating me like this is not acceptable. And we play with that, because some people will understand and they will accept that. Other people are like, well, you've changed, and I don't think I like that very much. I like you the way you used to be. Well, okay, that's okay. And ask yourself maybe why they prefer that person over the who you are now. And the person you are now, when you go start to do that healing, you're transforming bit by bit by bit. And it builds like building blocks, more and more and more and more. And pretty soon you look back and it's like, wow, I am not even close to the person I was a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, even yesterday. So consider, play with the idea of where you want to be, how you want to be, who you want to be from your heart. And that's where we start with the healing. That's where I come in and we work together, and I guide you. I don't coach. I don't teach. I guide you. I guide you to that level of where you want to be. And we work through it at your pace and with the tools that work for you. So we do some playing around with certain tools that I can present to you, and what feels better for you and what doesn't work so much for you. And we build a program specifically for you and where you want to be and where you want to go. So your heart opens and you see through your heart, you feel through your heart. I know I use this word a lot. It's transformative. It just is transformative. And I'll share one last thing with you, sorry. I pulled this card today and I use the Rose Oracle deck, and it is the Sacred Waters. So this is what it looks like. And at the bottom, it says nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So as I was, considering what the show was going to be today, because I wasn't sure until this morning, and I pulled this card. It lines up so much with what I'm talking about here of opening your heart, seeing through your heart, feeling through your heart, and what feels right for you. Start with maybe something simple like food. Does this feel right for me? Is this something I want to try? Or do I just eat it because I've always eaten it and that's what's expected of me? These aren't about shoulds. These are, I want you to feel what feels right for you, not what someone else is telling you you should feel or should be or should do. Let's put those shoulds aside and ask yourself, is this what you want? Ask your heart. Your heart knows, I promise. So here's something to consider with this card pool of the sacred waters. Like I said, it's nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care, which goes so much with what I'm talking about here right now. And here's a question for all of us. What's your body yearning for? If we can see where, how, who. I truly believe with every part of me that people will see the difference in you and me. Ask, hey, what's going on? You're different. I like this new you. And the people that don't like that new you, like that new me, then they probably aren't for us. And that's okay. That truly is. And sometimes those people need to move to the outer circle, or sometimes they just drift off. And that's it's okay too, because it was meant to be that way. But when we can move through our day, move through how does the heart feel? What is the heart telling us? What is the heart seeing for us? One person at a time, one person at a time. Can you imagine what your community would look like? Your friends, your family, and each one of us does it one person at a time. And we keep expanding and our heart keeps expanding and we keep seeing more and more for us and we keep stretching and reaching and transforming. And it kind of just like blows my mind in a lot of ways, but the possibilities of changing to something so good and so loving and so full of light. We need that now. So that's kind of my deal today. And a little different, I will say, but I really felt compelled to have this with you. And if you're curious about how to open your heart to see, to feel, really, truly feel deep in your heart of what's right for you, what's not right for you, put a comment down below. And it would be so helpful if you would subscribe to this channel and comment. I would love to hear from you. I absolutely love hearing from all of you. Have a great day.